Hey there guys, welcome back to NIMBY Rails. We're back in Glasgow today. I haven't been through and fixed any of it, like all the tracks are still overlapping and everything, but I'm ignoring that for now. What I've noticed is Ashfield itself, where I'd got to heading west, perfectly fine. So I can continue building out of there okay, without any issues. So we're going to start heading up towards, optimistically Fort William. In reality, we're going to be lucky to make it to Downmere, but we can try. We'll see what we get today. So we'll start off like this and head sort of round. Although I haven't actually looked at maps to where the next station is, so probably a good idea. The reasoning for this is, it became clear very quickly that watching me fix the track, was pretty boring. As in, basically no one watched it. And I don't want to just do all of Ireland quickly. I want to sort of spread it out a bit with everything else. So, Scotland for today. And then we'll go back to Ireland at some point. Maybe do a bit of fixing stuff in between. You never know. It's all a bit open. My problem is, there's a lot of stations, but I don't really know how sort of frequent they are. Is Gilsocil the next station? Is that even how you pronounce it? Gilsocil? I have no idea. Nor do I know where it is. I think it's up here. Yes, that looks right. That looks right. Okay. Drag it out to be about 200 metres, I think is what we've been going for. Of course I can't get across the river. Why would I be able to get across the river? That would be nice. There we go. Give it a name. The standard. Got to name the station. Gil. How are we spelling this? Like that, apparently. Okay. I wasn't expecting it to have quite as high a curve off the end of the platform there. That's fine. Summerston. Next station. So, my approach that I'm taking with curved stations is, if it very obviously needs to be a curve, I'll make it a curve. Otherwise I'm just going to stick with straight, because the curved stations are a little awkward to use, in that you sort of have to, like, their length changes and everything, and it gets a little complicated to do it. So for the most part, I'm intending to just use the default straight stations, unless that definitely won't fit. And that's why in the last couple of videos where I've been going back and fixing old stuff, I've not really been putting any curved stations in, even though realistically some of them probably should be. Because it's a lot of effort for not a lot of gain. Sure, it does allow slightly faster trains to travel slightly faster through them, but none of my timetables are, it's not like I've put realistic timetables in as such. I've put the right frequencies of trains down each line in, but I've not got them operating at exactly the right time in relation to each other or anything, so the time it takes them to operate is not the major issue. Kelvindale is here. So Kelvindale. I mean, that one's probably getting towards where a curve would be useful, but not bothering with it. There we go. And then that wraps around. So trying to work out what's going on is always a bit of a mystery. So we're coming up on Westerton on the double track, or Annie's Land on the other one. Annie's Land might be the best one to go for first. So that's down here. So we have a double track through there and a single alongside it. And it doesn't need to be called library. The double track continues out up here and into a tunnel under the canal. Meanwhile, the single track splits off there. Crosses the river. This is going to require some adjustment once I've done it. I'm looking at that station at Kelvindale now and thinking I may have to go back and fix it. I also would quite like that to move. Thank you, game. I want to stretch that out a bit. I want to pull this down. Give that a bit nicer of a curve. And we come off here onto a separate track that runs in there. Right, let's go back and look at Kelvindale then. Curve. See, this is the problem, is like I want the middle node to not be in its current location. If the middle of the station still has to be straight, you can't just do one sweeping curve with it. That's my main issue. I mean, it'll do, but it's not ideal. It only really sort of lets you curve the end of the platforms. Anyway, heading north out of Annie's Land. It's in a tunnel a bit longer. And then we come out there. And around here. And I'm just going to go and put the station up at Westerton quickly, so I know where I'm aiming for. That's always a good bet. Have somewhere to aim for before you start building. Westerton, done. I've left the curve tool on. Control Z, Control Z. Turn the curve tool off. Westerton. There we go. Now it won't start making the station a different length when I drag the track out from it. Okay. And this one runs round here. And at some point joins in. At some point being up there by the looks of it, which feels a bit late on. I might have to adjust some of this track. Give a bit more space. So bring that round. Bring a junction off there up to there. And there. Open Rail map doesn't actually show a crossover. There isn't one. Oh, okay. They have to run through Westerton Platform 2. That just feels awkward. but is apparently the case. So okay. So the other side of Westerton is the branch off up to Milngavie. So I think we'll try and do that at least, and then see where that leaves us. So the double track curves round this way. The single track has a crossover there, and then junction off and round up there. Just to double check, this is... okay, so this does go to double track at some point. Just before the next station at Bearsden. Bearsden station is there. We're going to run single track round to there and split off a second line there. Sorted. Rename the station Bearsden, and then Hillfoot. Looks like I may need to make it a curved station. Would be nice if the game didn't lag and not respond. That's something that's been happening increasingly frequently recently. Okay, let's see how well this works then. If I drag it out like that, this is the line down that way, and out the top we drag it like that, and that station is probably way longer than it needs to be now. But at least the middle of it is roughly where I wanted it to be. Hillfoot. Done. When do we go back down to single track? Oh, shortly. Actually, even more shortly than I've currently let it. So we actually need to come round like this. And like so. And then Milngavie is up in here somewhere. How far in? There. That far in. Give it a 200 metre platform so it can definitely accommodate any trains. It's not the end of the world if a station part way up the line is a bit too short, but the terminus definitely needs to be long enough. Oh, I left curved mode on. Of course I did. Okay, what we're going to do is actually delete that because that's not worked out nearly as well as you might have hoped. So we'll go back to there. Turn curved mode off, otherwise I'll forget it's on again. Sorry, less than 200 metres this time, and that's fine. One platform in, and points out to the other platform. And remove the bit saying bowling club. There we go. If I quickly have a look at a map, down from Annie's we come back round toward Partick. Did I have Partick or not? By the looks of it, I did not. I hadn't built underneath the city. I think I did have low level at Queen Street, yeah, and I've got low level at Glasgow Central. So I could build under the city. It wouldn't take long. Yeah, let's do that quickly. It's going to make this episode a bit longer than I'd have hoped, most likely, but that's fine. So, I need to work out where Charing Cross is. So, 2 to 3 miles. 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 2 looks like we just sort of follow the road until the motorway. It's around here. Yeah, it is near the King's Theatre. So Blytheswood Square Gardens, it's the railway is on the road, or under the road, just running to the north of that. It comes through here, and then it's this bit out in the open. Tracks, down a level, double track. It's around there. Charing Cross. I've not lined that up correctly. There we go. Then it does a weird sort of wiggle to get into the platforms. Just make sure, yeah, they're not clashing. That's fine. Then I've got to work out where it goes next. Somewhere weird by the looks of it. Okay, it might actually be easier to build out of Partick back by the looks of it. So if I get a station here on the ground level. If anything, it's on a viaduct, but ground level will do fine. And then we're sort of coming down here. So we cross over there. And then what? The main double track swings down below this bit of grass. Up onto a viaduct, squeeze alongside the motorway, down off the viaduct, and along here. And then eventually, it's not the most obvious. I think it actually goes up above that area and then into a tunnel, and I'm just going to connect it up rather than follow any road it might be meant to follow. Strictly speaking, it's meant to be under this road. Problem is going to be doing that with Charing Cross Station. Oh, that'll do. Okay, Exhibition Centre is sort of down here somewhere. It's not the clearest how this station is laid out. It seems to be two ground level platforms skewed. So sort of like that. And then if I rename that quickly. Oh yeah, okay. Not hovering over the right part of the screen. Exhibition Centre. We have a junction off from here. Ooh, don't go weird colours. That generally means bad stuff's happening. And we have to get in there somehow. So maybe if I straighten that a bit. That'll do. The other line is all the way back up here. it splits off, comes round here, dives into a tunnel, and then wraps around and out like that. It's a bit weird, but that's how it works. Then we have a double track in a tunnel there, literally underneath the motorway, and that's what these platforms connect into. So the issue is making that happen acceptably. There's also a track off here which is just into a siding, and a set of points between the two lines there. The double track comes back. This Anderston station is in an interesting location underneath a massive motorway junction. So where else would you put it? Perfect place for a station. Just under there. And then it connects through to Glasgow Central. Sorted. The last bit I wanted to do was connect from Partick up to Anniesland, because that sort of rounds it off a bit. There is another station between the two, which I'd kind of forgotten about. So let's just zoom in quickly there and work out where it needs to go. This one might need to be on a curve. And I'm going to have to edit the offset. And shrink it slightly because dragging out will extend it. And make it surface level because it's meant to be. There we go. So, we come up out of here. We run along and around and up and in. Then on the other side we run round and down and in. And there we go, that's kind of what I wanted. See, in that situation it's not worked terribly. Oh, I'm hovering over the wrong place again. Hindland. There's also a loop, which seems to just run from there, round the outside, and back in here. So there we go. And there's Jordan Hill Station, which is right, let's turn off the curve before I forget, right there, and Jordan Hill is enough. I don't know why all the stations are next to bowling clubs. Is that is bowling that popular in Glasgow? I don't know. I've never been there. Don't know much about Glaswegian culture. But it is a bit weird that every station appears to be trying to get the name bowling club as part of its name. Out the other side of Jordan Hill, the next station is a while away. And I don't really want to go all the way up to it, but I do need to get the curve in, so I need to build a little bit of a way, like that far-ish. Then there's a line off there that wraps round and joins on up here. And then it doesn't appear to have a crossover on Open Railway Map, but it does in real life. So time to add those in. And then we've sort of completed a circuit. So I feel like I've accomplished a lot more than just if I just done Milngavie today. There we go, we've completed from wherever that is, Ashfield, round back into Glasgow low levels. And up to Milngavie. So, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed and want more, and I'll catch you in the next one.